Albert Einstein once said, "A fool is somebody who does the same thing over and over again and expects a different result." That's why, if you keep doing the same things, then Allah says, "I don't change the condition of a nation until the change was within." This is manifestation. You changing your inner reality, the outer has to change. For example, when I just used to chase Allah, and I still do, it's like this world, your heart is now, there is some nur on your heart, and everything that's good wants to be part of you. Like multi-millionaires reach out to you, and I just sign a multi-million-dollar deal, and it's not the other way around that I chased them. No, they just came to me. They paid me $400 for 30 minutes consultation, and then they pitched me this partnership, and I was like, okay, let's just do it, because I don't reject anything that comes to me randomly the way I never expected, because always or most likely is from Allah. Because Allah says, those who fear Allah, in the Quran it says, those who fear Allah, Allah will provide from them from places they never expected and get them out of every worry. This just means having taqwa, which is righteousness. Those people who are righteous, Allah says they have nothing to fear or grief. Fear of the future, grief of the past. So basically, if you're awliya of Allah, friends of Allah, you literally have nothing to fear. Your du'as is going to be accepted before you even ask. Because you don't ask for these du'as. You don't ask for worldly things. People who are righteous, they just ask Allah for Allah, not even heavens. Because they understand that Allah is everything. Allahu, which means Allah is everything. And Allah Himself says in the Quran, this world is delusion. So Allah is telling you to ignore reality. Allah says in the Quran to Prophet Yusuf al-Islam that your dua is accepted. Don't listen to the people who don't know and stay steadfast. And after years, some people say 7 years, he was in the jail. And Allah told him, before your dua is accepted. So why Allah said your dua is accepted? But then it took years for the actual dua to be accepted. Meaning, first he saw vision that everything is bowing to him. And then he became the minister of wealth after like 7 years. So first Allah is telling you to ignore reality. Literally, this is law of attraction, law of assumption. Assume your dua is accepted, then it will be accepted. But here's the mistake most Muslims make. What I see from the people who are poor, what I notice from the comments is their energy is something else. That's why I don't coach, people without actually understanding if I can actually help them. Because what I see from most Muslims is they have just the worst mindset you can ever have. For example, when I tell people to let go, let Allah. Get out of the driving seat, let Allah drive. Don't stress, let go, be grateful, don't think negative, don't be angry, don't be living in lack. And what they tell me is that, bro, it's easy for you to say it. You're living in Ireland, everything is good, and you never went from places that we are going through right now. And to that, I'm like, bro, this is you're just making excuses, because there are people at your situation who are way higher than you are. And even me, like when I used to be in my home country, my mother used to just have 30 euros, which in the other currency is something a bit more. So from that 30 euros, she had to pay college fees of ours, school fees, groceries, bills. Literally, it was like just not even having the needs of us. For example, we couldn't even afford bread and jam. It was luxury to us. We used to get water from the underground water thingy, where the frogs will be there, the insects, all of that. And we used to get that water and boil it and drink it. So they telling me, I'm like, bro, this is just excuses. You are just making excuses for why your life is the way it is. Allah Himself says in the Quran, I don't burden a soul beyond its capacity. So if Allah gives you the millions, Allah knows you cannot handle it. You don't have the capacity and the capability to handle that wealth. You're just gonna lose it, and it's gonna be a curse rather than a blessing if Allah gives you that right now. That's why I keep telling you to level up. Hardship is for you to get better. Because Allah says, with hardship comes ease. And Allah says in the other verse, Allah wants ease for you. But with hardship comes ease. So how do you expect to get better without hardship? It doesn't work like that. Allah gives you hardships to get ready for the next stage. But if you're like always ungrateful for the hardship, always ungrateful, and you're always focusing on the negative things, not the good things, like you having your phone, internet, you having food, water, all your needs being met, you're not focusing on here, you're focusing on the negatives. Then Allah says, my punishment is severe if you're not grateful. But if you're grateful, I will surely increase you. The gratitude comes before the increase. That's what most Muslims don't get. First, you have to be grateful inside, a feeling. Then the external gives you the increase. So if right now life is stuck, understand that you inside, you feel stuck, you think stuck. Everything inside of you is stuck. That's why dunya is stuck. You change inside, Allah promises that He will change the outside. The outer world has to reflect the inner. It has to. This is a universal law, like law of gravity. You drop a pen, it's gonna fall. It's that simple. So when I noticed when my life was like really, really terrible, I was just me driving the driving seat. I was holding too tight. And that's why I tell you in my school community, you need to let go. And I give you a lot of examples. Another things, how to pray namaz the right way, Surah Fatiha, divine manifestation. But only join if you're serious. It's only for serious people. Because I see people join and I see that they haven't even watched the courses. I'm like, bro, what? Why did you even join? So that's why I keep increasing the price, because I don't want people to just join and waste time. But if you don't let go, how can Allah control your life? If you don't, what is Islam? Islam is surrendering to Allah fully. All your faculties for Allah. Your hands. Everything you do is for Allah. You walk for Allah. You talk for Allah. You teach for Allah. You learn for Allah. Everything is not for you. Is for the divine. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you don't let go, nothing in your life can work. Nothing. But once you let go, you will, first of all, you will let go of stress, which long-term stress actually creates diseases in your body. Not only you physically get better if you let go, but Allah says, if you trust me, I'm sufficient for you. So the only focus you need to have is to become righteous, and then Allah becomes your friend. And Allah says, then you have nothing to fear or grieve. And Allah protects you. Even the whole world is against you, Allah will protect you. You're like to Allah a child in mother's lap. Allah takes care of everything. Even the dust you know, even the chair you are actually occupying, even the dust there become blessed. The household become blessed because of you. There is so many other blessings that I talk in my school community. But just understand the only purpose you have is to worship Allah, Allah says. So worship Allah, and this dunya worship is you. this dunya chases you. And same thing when you chase the partner, they run away the more needy you are. But once you let go, be nonchalant, it's like they're attracted to you. Same thing here. Let go and let Allah. That's the only job you have. And in the meantime, just focus on Allah. Do a lot of istighfar that I tell you in my videos, in my previous videos. And your life just gets better. It's that simple. You focus on Allah, Allah focuses on you. Allah is how you think of Allah, how you perceive Allah. So I hope this was helpful, because for me this was very helpful. So let me know if it was in the comments. Just say I trust Allah, so I know you reached till this far. And the school community is first link in description. Allah Hafiz.